not quite through with noodles. We are en route to another factory where a very different process is used to make the long spaghetti-like strands used in kanom jin, a dish that is so widely eaten by Thais and so wonderfully refreshing and delicious that the fact that so few non-Thais know about it makes our hearts simply ache. So, before we see how the noodles are made, we'll go back to Samui briefly to our favorite kanom chin shop in the village of Mae Nam. A great dish of kanom chin requires not just perfect noodles, but a dazzling assortment of vegetables, savory plants, condiments, and homemade sauces. Restaurants like this one almost always dedicate all or most of their operation to the making of this dish, which is sold almost exclusively from roadside restaurants and sadly remains almost entirely unknown to foreigners. So, what's all the fuss about a plate of noodles? You'd be forgiven for making a comparison to the Italian pasta primavera. However, the vegetables in this dish are eaten raw. Their freshness and crispness contrasts beautifully with the softness and smoothness of the noodles, which are served at ambient temperature, as is the sauce, which is ladled on top first. After the vegetables have been cut bite-size and pungent leaves arranged on top, with perhaps a hard-boiled egg, condiments are added that include everything from pickled bamboo to marinated peanuts. This is a use for green curry you may not have known about. If you look closely, you'll see that this delicious stew was made with chicken's feet, eggplant of course, and cubes of dried pig's blood, among other things. But the sauce that is probably most often associated with this dish is a bit more simple. Reddish in color, it's made by combining a tureen of steamed fish with red curry paste and the creamiest part of the coconut milk. Watching Thais concoct and eat their plates of kanom chin is a truly illuminating look at how they approach their cuisine. With at least 5 different vegetables and as many different kinds of fragrant leaves mixed in with their fish curry, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, for Roong, there's still something missing here for a special kind of hotness. Ah yes, deep-fried red-hot chilies. We're back on the mainland. As we head toward a district known as Huasai, we pass vast tracts of fertile land in various stages of cultivation. Soon we'll visit more farms and orchards and see how and where more of the herbs used in Thai cooking grow. But before we do, we're going to spend some time with a friendly family at their home and factory. Like the noodles we saw being made earlier indoors, kanom chin is made from rice. In this case, a firm grade is used. The rice is rinsed, soaked overnight, drained, and then poured into a grinding machine. From there, it's passed into this oscillating sieve, where it's strained through a coarse mesh. The strained soupy mixture is allowed to settle in big vats. The thin part of the liquid rises, while the heavier matter is pumped from the bottom of the vats into cloth sacks. The rice dough is allowed to dry in the sacks before they're placed in this boiler, where they cook for about 25 minutes, after which they're scorchingly hot. The boiled dough is then put in this kneading machine, which has very sharp blades at its bottom. Here, in a process not unlike that used in making bread, the dough is manipulated by the blades to achieve a smooth consistency. The kneaded dough is then forced through a sieve, up and over into boiling water, where, like angel hair pasta, it cooks in just seconds. Before being transferred to another vat where the noodles are allowed to cool in cold water. It's here where the importance of using a firm grade of rice comes into play. Only sturdy noodles can remain in long strips like these during this process. Finally, the noodles are coiled into baskets and covered, where they await the vendors who will come from all over this locality to purchase them for sale at the market or at noodle shops like the one we visited earlier. In 1912, a man named Wilbur Scoville from Texas A&M University invented a test for chili hotness. The hottest of them all, the Scotch bonnet, comes from Mexico. As a matter of fact, the chilies that are now so closely associated with Thai cuisine were brought to Southeast Asia from the New World hundreds of years ago by seagoing traders. Prior to that, pepper was used for hotness in Thai cooking. The workers in this field are harvesting a chili known in Thai as prik kinu, which you may know as the bird's eye variety. It's the little one used in everything from curry pastes to soups, and it comes in both red and green. At about 70,000 Scoville units, it's pretty hot. A red chili is simply a ripe chili and tends to be hotter than its green younger sibling, picked before it's ripened. Both are cultivated in this field, where they are harvested twice a month. 3 months, the plants are uprooted and new seedlings are planted. This ensures a consistently plump and flavorful crop. In this orchard, a variety of palm trees are being cultivated for their oil, widely used in Thai cooking. The fruit of the tree is the source of the oil. If you've visited Thailand, then you've no doubt enjoyed many of the fabulous fruits. While the large egg-shaped mangoes are prized for their delectable sweetness, this smaller variety is most often eaten raw or used in salads, where it's sliced and sometimes pounded in a large wooden mortar, which allows it to soften. Mango trees need lots of water when young, so they're planted between rows of man-made ponds to ensure that a source of water is always available, even in the dry season. A tree will bear fruit at about 5 years of age and can be used as the source of stems for planting more trees. Another important fruit used in cooking is that of the tamarind tree. Here we see a row of them that stretches off and on for miles. In the early part of the year, the tree bears a brown, pod-like fruit with a brittle shell that's easily broken open. Inside, fibrous pulp envelops several large pits. The wide, dark green leaves of the pandan plant are used in many desserts to add flavor, fragrance, and sometimes color. Unlike lemongrass, to which it bears a resemblance, only the leaves are used and not the plant's stalks or roots. Pandan plants, like these, don't require a lot of sun or a lot of room, so they're often grown in small backyard patches like this one. Pandan is used in everything from bread and sweet rice flour treats like these to the coconut cream sauce poured over the famous sweet sticky rice with mango. Not only fruits are used in making Thai desserts. One vegetable that has made a name for itself in Thai cuisine is the pumpkin. It's used in making custards, stewed in sweet coconut milk, and generally prized for not only its flavor, but for the soft, creamy consistency of its flesh when ripe. Pumpkin and other forms of squash, cut bite-size of course, are also used for their sweetness and consistency in curries and in soups. And if you're interested in acquiring rarefied Thai-style fruit and vegetable carving techniques, you'll find, not surprisingly for those acquainted with Halloween, that the pumpkin is one of the best vegetables on which to create intricate designs. We said earlier that while some hard-to-find Thai ingredients can be replaced by substitutes, others cannot. Coriander, known to some by its Spanish name cilantro, is one of these. It grows to the height seen here. The entire plant is used. Starting from the ground up, literally, the root contains the greatest concentration of flavor and is used in making curry pastes and marinades. A little higher up, the stem is crushed and sometimes chopped to extract its maximum flavor. The leaves add not just a hint of flavor, but also fragrance and color to many dishes. If the plant is allowed to bear blossoms before being picked, these will contain seeds, which are harvested for the potency of their flavor and are one of the ingredients in the famous 5-spice powder, a quintessentially Asian mixture.